Hello boys and girls. The unit we will be learning this week is about polygons. So what we will be learning is we will learn how to define polygon, just the word polygon. We will also learn how to identify and name polygons with 10 or fewer sides, and we will also learn how to combine and subdivide polygons with 3 or 4 sides and name the resulting polygons. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start us off with a little brain pop video to get us rolling with polygons so we can see what we remember from last year and kind of get going with it again. So let's start this video.
Hey, stop that. Dear Tim and Moby, what's a polygon from Kai? Well, these are polygons. For a shape to be a polygon, it has to meet some specific criteria. A polygon is a closed figure made by 3 or more line segments, or sides as we call them. Each line segment in a polygon intersects exactly 2 others. These segments only intersect in vertices where 2 endpoints meet. Now these aren't polygons. Well, the first one isn't a closed figure.
Okay, so we briefly went over polygons. Give me one moment. Let me pull up our next screen. Okay, so next, I want to see what you guys already know. So I'm going to pass out a pegboard to each of you. You will each get a few rubber bands. And what I want you to do is, some of you are already familiar with this from last year, but what I want you to do is use these rubber bands, and I want you to create some shapes. Once you create these shapes, I'm going to come around and I'm going to get you guys to let me know what shape that is so we can see where we are in the learning stage and what we know. So you guys go ahead, I'll pass them around and you guys show me what you know. Alright, so now that we've used the pegboards, now we're going to go over a few of our definitions. So the first definition and the most important definition today we're going to learn is polygon, okay? So a polygon is a closed plane figure composed of at least 3 line segments that do not cross. Okay, boys and girls? The important part in this definition is that it is a closed, so not open, it is a closed plane figure composed of at least how many? 3 line segments that do not cross. Okay? So, again, a polygon is a closed plane figure composed of at least 3 line segments that do not cross. So we're going to start simply. As you see on this chart, we have a bunch of different polygons. Now, we're going to start with just the top 2. However, as the week goes on, they will get harder and harder. We will add more lines, we will add more shapes, we will add more vocabulary. But today we're going to start with the top 2. So, this one right here would be a triangle. A triangle is a 3-sided polygon. So, with the triangle being a 3-sided polygon, it has to be a closed plane figure. So, the triangle must look like this. 1, 2, 3. And see, it's closed on the inside. If it was open, it would not be a triangle and it would not be a polygon. The next one we have is a quadrilateral. There are 4 sides in this polygon, so that's what we need to remember. And of course, quad means 4, so we can remember it that way. So a quadrilateral is 4-sided polygon. What's a little bit tricky is there are a bunch of different shapes that are quadrilaterals. Can anyone tell me an example of a quadrilateral? Square, very good. So we are all familiar with a square. And that is how many sides? Right, 4. Okay, so that is one type of quadrilateral. What other kinds of quadrilaterals? Rectangle, correct. So we draw this one, and it also has 4 sides, and it's closed, okay? So that is another one. All right, so now that we have gone over these definitions, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over to our anchor chart and we're gonna fill this in throughout the week. Let me grab my marker. So from what we know on the definition on the board, what can we say this shape is right here? Right, this is a triangle. It has 3 sides. Now I made these little points so you could tell how many sides there are, because as you can see when we get lower, there's a lot more. So it's easier to count that way. So correct, right here we have a triangle, and I'm gonna write this on here, and we're gonna keep this up all week. That way if you need to reference it, this will be your reference material, okay? Now under triangle, I'm gonna write 3 sides. That way we can remember the definition. All right, very good. So the next shape we are going to add to our anchor chart is this 4-sided shape. Can anyone tell me what that is? Correct, that is a rectangle. So I'm gonna write that up there, but there's also another word for this one. What else could this shape be called? Correct, quadrilateral. So it is a rectangle and a quadrilateral. And how many sides does this shape have? Correct, 4. And boys and girls, what are both of these shapes called? Can we remember? I have a little reference right here. Right, they are both polygons. And polygons are what? A closed plane figure composed of at least 3 line segments that do not cross. Later, I will make an anchor chart and I will have the definition polygon, and I will add different definitions. That way you can reference them in the classroom. All right, so since we all still have these, what I'm gonna get you to do is I'm gonna get you to pair up with the partner that I chose for you. You guys are going to use your rubber bands. So what I'm gonna get you to do is practice creating and dividing polygons with your partner using your pegboard and bands while I walk around observing, and I will give you feedback. So if you have questions, let me know. I will be glad to help you, and we will practice with our partner. All right, boys and girls, you guys did an awesome job with those pegboards. I loved how you guys were working together and solving those problems together. So what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna give you a worksheet on combining polygons. So this sheet will have you guys identifying polygon pieces by the name of their shapes. It will also have you drawing and labeling the shapes that are created by splitting the polygons. So this is what everyone's sheet will look like, okay? If you have any problems, just raise your hand, I'll help you. This one should be independent practice. Now, I know some of you, this might, you might go through this really fast. So if you do, I have a challenge problem on the back that I want you to complete, at least try it. And after that, we will go over them together. Now, while you're working on your worksheet, I can pass out to those who might need them some of these shape blocks, and you can use these and you can set them on your desk and help you try to figure out your problems on your worksheet. So if you need any of these, just raise your hand and I'll bring you some. And for those of you who finish early, you can create a tri-fold piece of paper. I will show you an example in just a moment. Got to get it out of my desk. And you're going to make a pamphlet drawing and labeling the polygons and the shapes they make, and where you see these shapes throughout the classroom. For those of you that finish early and want to make the brochure, I'm going to give you a piece of this manila paper. So then what we will do is we will fold it once, so 1/3 in, okay? Then I will get you to take this side and fold it over again. So you will have a 3-sided brochure. So then in this brochure, what I want you to do is I want you to use your pencil and I want you to look around the classroom and find different polygons that you see that we might not realize until now that they're a polygon. The easiest example I'm going to use is I'm going to use the smartboard, right? We see the smartboard every day, but have any of you thought about what kind of polygon it is? Probably not until now. So this would be a what? Right, a rectangle or a quadrilateral. Very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my smartboard, okay? I'm going to label what it is. Now I'm going to write both definitions so I can remember. And at the top, I'm going to write what this item is. That way I know what you are drawing and what you're identifying in the classroom. So this is the smartboard. So what I want you to do is I want you to do this, and I want you to fill up your pamphlet, your brochure, of everything that you can think of in this classroom that might be a polygon. Once you finish your pamphlet, raise your hand and I'll come over and check it out.